But I got into an elevator and it was the first time in my life I've ever been in an elevator and nobody talked. And I was like, oh my God, this is how life would be in an elevator if I wasn't talkative and I didn't talk to people, because nobody initiates the conversation. I'm always initiating the conversation next to somebody.
When do you have time to have a conversation in a fucking elevator?
All the time.
You go up 2 levels and you're done.
No, I talk as soon as I get in.
I've never ever started a conversation in an elevator.
That's what I'm saying. It was the first time ever. Dude, that was the only time in my life that I've ever been in an elevator and didn't talk to somebody.
You talk to people in elevators?
I talk to people any chance I get.
This is a hot button issue, by the way. Elevator conversations, and there's a whole genre of conversation around that situation. People get in the elevator, and it's very awkward. It's generally very awkward because of that window of time that you have. It's not quite long enough to really spark something up good, but you're also standing next to someone.
Like, hey,
generally,
you ever been in an elevator before?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
This is my first time, actually.
but
what?
This is where elevator pitches come from. This is where all of that stuff around elevators come from. Or when you ride in
Ubers.
Let's stick with elevators for a second, just for a hot second. But Ubers are cool too. Then phones came along, changed the game completely, because now when you get in an elevator, you don't even know, motherfucker.
How is that rude?
How old are you? How do you have your life?
I don't give a fuck service on the elevator. You're literally trying to deal with
Dylan, we're not on an elevator in Zanzibar. Fucking
the service everywhere.
Big of a deal? You guys never talk to people in elevators this bad?
No, George.
All I'm just saying is that there's a dialogue around this kind of conversation. So now what happens is, to avoid the awkwardness and the silence, everyone goes, the first thing you do, you get in, you push the button, boom. Phone comes out and you look at it. Now you have no service, but you're just scrolling the pictures on Instagram you already saw. Anything to avoid the fact that you're standing next to someone in a box that is moving on a wire to a fucking another floor of a building you don't want to be in anyways.
That's wild.
It's always the dentist.
But are you guys not fearing of the fact that you could be missing out on like a conversation that could possibly change your life?
No. I'm actually fearing the fact that I might get into a conversation that I hate. So I just look at my phone and
no, because the time will pass. But like, for example, you brought up the Uber. I've had conversations with Ubers where I was like, oh, wow, I don't want to have this conversation.
It's the same conversation.
But there was one time where it was so good, I changed the location of my Uber because I was like, no, I want to continue this conversation.
I had one of those.
That's what I'm saying. Like you do, but I think about that all the time.
See, that's dope. That's dope.
So like what I'm saying is you're never going to look back and be like, why the fuck did I talk to that guy in the elevator? But you could be like, damn, I'm really happy I talked to that guy in the elevator.
I think it goes back to the window of time I mentioned before. I have fantastic conversations with Uber drivers. Some of the best conversations I've ever had in my life were with Uber drivers. Now, would I pull a Riley Reid and suck their dick? Probably not. Maybe. I can't say for sure.
That come
I don't know.
from?
If you have a gun to your head and they're saying, suck my dick or your boy dick.
Yes. What if Dick Ransom guy got into the somehow got approved to drive
He's an Uber
Ubers?
driver.